Alright, I'm here. My studio gets bigger and bigger as time goes on here. I had to find a place for all my markers. Got lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. I'm going to start with crocheting for a little bit. Not crocheting, but knitting. But I'm here. Because I am going to this party, so. And I told Brandon that I'd get this baby blanket done. So, I'm here. I'm going to start this while I'm waiting for readings. And what I'm doing with this blanket is I'm going to make long strips. And I'm going to do some embroidery. And embroidery I'll be left to when I know what day the baby's born. So, it's not overly exciting stuff, but it's there. But I just take it and you just hook over. I find knitting easier than I do crocheting. I was going to try to practice some crocheting, and so I wanted to crochet the edges. But I'm going to sit here and wait for somebody. See where the day takes me, as they say. I forgot what president said seize the day. Or what ruler it was. I don't know. It was somebody. But I gotta get some of this stuff done. These blankets take a long time. There. These are coming across nicely. Very nicely. Oh, 9 people. How you guys doing? I'm just making a baby blanket for my grandchild that's going to be on his way. And then the nursery is going to be in Winnie the Pooh, so it's probably good that I did all those Winnie the Pooh sketches. The present, when I do get to this expensive ass baby shower, is going to be all the portraits that I've been making. Oh, good? Yeah. Yeah, I did. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to perfect crocheting, but I could do one row. I do have another teacher, Laugh Out Loud. She's a professional person that does, like, and she has all these patterns. I was looking at her, offering her some food I had extra, and she's sitting there with all these crocheting patterns and all that. I'm like, oh wow. And she does all these professional stuff, and I'm like, maybe you can help me with this baby blanket when I get having do the edges. Because I was going to try to do the edges with crocheting and just slip knot it to connect the yarn. That was the plan. I don't know if I could crochet the whole thing. I don't know. I'm just not that much in crocheting. I like knitting needles because you can. I guess it's because you can put them down, and then you have your hands all messed up, and if you want to go hit your vape or something, you just can't. And I like it because I feel it's prettier. And I do a lot of my jewelry this way. So I like to do that. I mean, I'm going to learn crocheting because, when you learn new things, they say you don't get Alzheimer's. I don't know how true this is, but they say it makes your brain move. And you should do things every day that challenges your brain. That's what like a lot of great people in the world have said. So I try to. I didn't see any science videos today though. I was paying all the bills, and then of course my mother-in-law came and brought me a lot of food, like the end of the world's coming. And I had to take Chong out twice. And then I ended up honestly just vegetating and looking at YouTube, but it wasn't the smart side of YouTube. It was the music side. So of course I was listening to Slipknot, and I really liked the new the Mushroom Head album. Guitar is my favorite music. I love guitar, love it. I like to use it in all my shorts. Everything about it. I think guitar music is the best. But I lived in an era where I grew up with guitar music. I mean, Guns N' Roses, hands down, has to be my favorite. Because I remember when all that stuff came in Ozzy. Oh my god, I will be so sad when he passes. Ozzy's my favorite, one of my favorites. And then can't forget Stairway to Heaven. That's the biggest stoner song of them all. Led Zeppelin. I don't care. I know I was born in 74, but Led Zeppelin is awesome. And Jim Morrison. I was raised by hippies, so these are things that I listened to all the time when I was younger. Oh, how you doing? Ohio? No, I'm making a baby blanket for my grandkid that's coming. And I have this baby shower to go to, and her family's making a baby shower. It's on a $6,000 baby shower. And I'm taking my mother-in-law because my ex-husband will be there, my ex-fiance, so it's going to be a family affair. And the exes don't hate me, but we put up with each other. Last time when I tried to get to this wedding, they didn't like that I wanted to bring my brother and all this stuff because they said they would have caused trouble. And I was like, how does a 74-year-old woman start trouble? They don't know her very well. She's like Medea. So she's excited, and I told Brandon, he goes, that's kind of weird. And he's like, Mom, I don't know. I'm like, I don't care. I told him with the wedding, somehow I got uninvited and all this other stuff. So he told me to go ahead and bring her. He didn't care. And then I told her we don't eat. Then I told him we don't eat steak. So this is Jersey. Okay. I don't know what Jersey is. Is that your name? Because it says Kumar. So I don't know. You guys are like secret agents when you come up in here. You guys get to have cool code names and everything. I don't get to have code names over here. Not at all. There's no filters on YouTube. No stream within a stream. Everything has to be legit. I did try to make an effort with my hair today. It was like in these ponytails, and I had all this lotion in my hair yesterday, and then I flipped them this way because I'm trying to grow my hair out. because I decided to be my own hairstylist. So that's just how my life rolls. I take it one day at a time with my life. You just never know what's life's gonna hit you at what time. And now I have to make this. I'm gonna make this and have it embroidered. And now that I'm gonna do my own embroidery, and then I do lots of sketches. If you guys look at the, I don't know if there's anyone here, but on the community post I have my sketches because I've been having these famous artists that are sick teaching me how to do pastel sketch art. And after a year, I've been getting pretty decent. I will say that. I've been getting pretty good. So I'm gonna probably do all the stuff for the room there too. I'm gonna do all the Winnie Poohs because I already have a bunch that I sketched out that looks good, and I'm just gonna save those for the baby shower because that's gonna be my present. I'm not trying to break the bank just because he's bougie. And my son is bougie. He is very bougie. So I'm just making him a bougie painting and call it a day. I like to save money. I enjoy saving money. You live with you buy what you need, use what you have more money. And with all this crazy stuff going around, I'm not trying to waste any money. And that's true facts here. But, oh, there's somebody here. Oh, hi there, Carl. How you doing? I'm starting on the baby blanket for my grandchild that's coming. And they're letting me bring my mother-in-law now. And you'll find this funny, Carl. Oh, Carl. I told him I brought someone that's not going to cause problems, but they don't know my mother-in-law is like Medea. So, that's going to be fun. And then she told me today that she does not watch the news. She said that Trump signed some kind of bill, and it was all over TikTok that people that darker skinned people have to go, and they're not allowed to use the bathrooms. And I said I never heard anything like that on TV. She goes, I don't watch the news. All I need is TikTok. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I don't think he could do that. It's unconstitutional. I'm unconstitutional. But she's over here watching TikTok news. She's the sassy diva. She does the gospel music and all this stuff. But I'm bringing her. And she's already trying to pick out her dress. I told her I'm thinking about a sweater dress. So. And then I told Brandon that oh yeah. So I'm going to have fun. And you're going to laugh. We're going to sit at the table with my ex-husband. And then I'll have the current husband's mom with me. And then I was engaged before to Brandon's dad. And we just didn't get married because he cheated on me. But him and his wife are going to be there. And last time I seen Brian, he was getting all cozy, wanting to get back together with me. And he'd been married a while. And I just told her, I was like, so I don't get arrested, I need somebody. So, no, it said 4 months. But yeah, I told her I just don't feel like getting arrested because I might. The current husband doesn't want to go because he said that's too much of a love triangle for him to be involved in. He said he's going to get looked at by all of them. But honestly, my husband, he gets along with her fabulously. He even said because we were out on an outing with my younger son, because we co-parented when we broke up, and he said that she looked younger than me. And he talked to her for about an hour and was fine with her. So we're gonna sit at the table with the official ex-husband. And I'm just staying away from the other one. I'm good because that's Brandon's biological dad. And I never really asked for any money to him because I already started going to college and I already had money so I didn't really care. When he got older and he needed something, I just was like, well, all that child support you didn't give me, you could just go ahead and give Brandon a bunch of money. So he had a bunch because his family's rich and he has this land. He owns all these acres in I think it's West Virginia, and they have it's in their family name, and it stays in the family. You're never allowed to sell it. All you gotta do is pay the taxes on it, and they have dirt bikes and everything. So Brandon inherited that, and he has like 4 or 5 houses. Yeah, he said for me not to be with my current husband, that he would buy me and Zach a car, my younger son. I was like, I'm good. I'd rather go without the car, but he gonna be there. And then of course my ex, he literally because he's the one that raised him, my older son. He went to him. He's like, I raised him for almost 10 years. He's not calling you dad. He was. He even told me he was like, I'm not. He told him that straight up. So one's dad and one's pops. So I'm staying away from the pops because actually you would think that the one that I had a crazy divorce with, that he would be the one that'd be hostile, but it's not. He actually just doesn't want to argue and he just wants to do what we need to do. It's the other one. Because he's just not happy in his bubble over there with his girlfriend or his new wife. But that's on him. He don't want to be happy with who he is, and because he made bad choices, that's on him. He could have. He was. He's decent looking enough to find someone else, so I'm not worried about it. I mean, he has kept up on himself and everything, so the only problem is he has these little groups, and then he'll tell, and I guess Brandon says that he tells his wife she's not allowed to come in while he's watching. So his little stuff for sports and all that. He's just really weird. Oh, the current husband. Oh yes, he doesn't want to be a part of the love drama. I'm bringing the mother-in-law. I told her it's gonna be better than soap opera. You would think somebody that's turning 51 wouldn't have this much love drama. You really would. And I'm a grandma twice because my younger son has a kid too, but we're not sure if that's his child or not. And I told him, you've already raised the baby. I was like, it doesn't matter if it's biologically yours or not. He's just like, if it's not my kid, Mom, I'm done. So he's breaking up with his girlfriend. So on top of all this, there's adult love drama and the boys love drama. So I just told my mother-in-law, I'm going to be going to jail or something. Or just go jump out of a window somewhere and take somebody with me. So she's coming to save me. It's going to be worse. It's going to be like Peyton's Place. If I could tape it, I think it would get 1 million views. I would have my own TV show. It's crazy. I guess it goes to show you Oh, okay. I don't know how you see all this. On my little, I went to go fix my computer and got this whole computer program, and I got Microsoft Office, and I still can't even get my computer to stream. I'm just going to use it for my arts and crafts computer. You're a very good co-pilot in here. Alright, you want to look at your love. Alright. If I had a such thing of being able to have a moderator, I'd make you my moderator. Because you seem to know way more about this than me. I just come up here doing my thing. And that's pretty much. On Facebook, you just kind of do whatever you need to do. I started out as a Facebook streamer. On Facebook, it's way different streaming. That's why I talk to you guys. Because on Facebook, we always answer comments. And on my Google and Microsoft does not like it, and my friend got hacked over there on Facebook. So I don't think I'm ever going to see my Facebook accounts again. I think this is my new Facebook. I just got to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my streams. Because that I do not know. You think I would, but no. I did get a business account. I was able to do that today. And I put YouTube as my business and me being the only employee, because I am the only employee. I can't have Chong. Alright, your love, Lauren. Okay. Your love sector. Oh, that's a real good one. You got new moon in Leo. Or Libra. That's not a bad card for a love sector. Alright. Your main energy is in new moon in Libra, and that's the important thing with these kind of energy readings. And this just talks about a new romantic beginning. Pretty much. And it doesn't mean it has to be with another person. You can have a new cycle with the same person. That's why people just keep getting together and breaking up, and they get together and break up. And if you get together and break up enough, it's probably better you stay apart. But some people like to go around the circle until they die. But anyways, and then you're surrounded. The other cards are just the circumstances that surround your main energy. And I forget you guys are spiritualists or anything like that, so you might know. And I guess, forget to tell you, because most of my friends do stuff like this. So I'm just letting you know, because most of my friends, like I know a shaman, that's my friend, and all this other stuff. I have weird friends. So, but this is your main energy, and it's surrounded by a first quarter moon. These are just the circumstances that brought you to this path. And a first quarter moon just means talking about commitment. Like somebody's just kind of watching what you're doing to see if they want to make a full commitment type thing. And then you got a new moon in Aries. And that just means Aries, they're just spitfire, and they just go ahead and say whatever and go in there. It's an action card. So I see somebody that's liking you. I call them lurkers, because they lurk around to see if you got somebody and act all creepy. So there is somebody watching you. I do see that. So maybe just kind of look around and try to feel around for who it is. But there is somebody. I feel that they're like close. I feel like they're almost they're a friend of a friend type thing, or like a casual friend type thing. And it's not like your lifelong friend, but it is a casual friend. So, and then just see who it is. It might be somebody good, and if it's not, like my sons say, it's easier for women to find men than men to find women. So, there you could always move on. You could eat some ice cream and all that and move on with your life, but you don't know. Make it choose wisely. That's what I would do. Choosing wisely is a good thing. It really is. Uh, I'm seeing them. I feel that they're looking, already kind of looking and assessing the information, because the thing about men is they act like they don't have feelings, but they really do. And a lot of times they'll wait. And they wait for like sometimes a couple months. And they're always waiting for that one person. They're like men are like turtles. They just go real slow, and they just like walk around, and then they're just looking for that one person that really kind of they vibe with. That's how I like to think of people, but I think of people always in relation to animals. So, but that's just me. But he's there, he's lurking, but he doesn't want to like get involved and get hurt and get his feelings all in one place. So, that's what I feel about it. But it's somebody that you don't really think is vibing with you. I do know that. It's somebody unexpected. I know he has darker hair. So if that helps. I see darker hair. And he's not overweight or anything. But I don't see a lot of facial features, but kind of what I do see, I don't see him as an ugly man. So I don't see that at all. Oh. Oh, hello. What is this? Oh, another name. Is it Kissy? What the heck is that? Or Chrissy? Okay. How you doing? You like the shorts? I'm always 3 in shorts. When I was on Facebook, I was number 1 for all shorts. And I come over here, I'm always 3. And I am really good at making videos. I really am. I do all my little editing, and I have Google does help me, but I do all the wording and everything. I don't have anybody do any of that for me. I like to do everything myself, because I feel if you're going to do something, oh, you're welcome. I hope it was helpful. But don't go jumping into anything you're not sure about. If he's taking his time, take your time. Hanging out. How's it? It's good. I'm making a baby blanket for my grandson or granddaughter. And because I've been sketching so much, and thank God the theme is Winnie the Pooh, because it seems for the last week all I've done is character boarding for Winnie the Pooh. So, in between character boarding and getting all the stuff for this expensive ass baby shower. Okay. Yeah, you can always stop in if you have other questions. I'm good at sensing out malicious people too. I really am. It's one of my superpowers. For some reason I just sense bad energy too. I don't know why. It is what it is. I don't question these things. I used to, but I've got over it. I'm just over questioning whatever. I'm just glad to survive each day sometimes. That's why I be liking to do all this blogging. I blog what I do every day. And folks, I don't do anything exciting. I really don't. Besides being dragged to $6,000 baby showers and stuff, I be doing my arts and crafts and my residents all laugh out loud. They got to be famous artists because to retire where I work, you cannot be poor. So it's just subsequently I run into a famous sketch artist. So, and it's on the community board. All the stuff I've sketched. I've been a student to these guys, and then Tom ended up dying. He was famous for all his stuff in the Cleveland Indians. He was like one of my best friends. I loved him. Sometimes he had his ex-wife, I think, had custody over his health or whatever, and sometimes she'd show up, sometimes she wouldn't. So yeah. Well, yeah, my son's bougie and her family's bougie, so my other son isn't. He's like me. I'm happy with just a little a glass of pop. Brandon, no, he's not happy with that. He's working on his credit reports and everything, and he has all kinds of stuff going on. He's real good with money. He does my taxes every year because he's the only one I know that could do them that well because he's obsessed. So, and he works all the time. And then he's trying to sit there and I make the same amount of money as him, and he's like, okay, mom, you win. You make the same as me. He's always very competitive. I'm competitive in other ways. I'm competitive in when I get involved in stuff. Phone games. This is what got me on the internet. Is phone games. I started just doing Facebook because it's all about numbers and videos and live streaming and stuff. That's all it was about, and it was one big phone game. So I wanted to be creator of the week over there, but I got hacked. I got so big I got hacked over there. They don't have creator of the week over here, so I guess the closest to creator of the week is that. Glad you came to YouTube. Well, I'm glad too, but I would be nice if I could get into my Facebook account, but apparently everybody's getting hacked over there. Thank God I pay for security. That's all I know. They actually tried to get my friend Carol's account, and I signed him with Google. So they've been wanting me to sign in, and I can't, and Google broke the link. I don't argue with Google. I don't. If you're paying $100 a year for security, just don't argue with Google. And they send over good videos. They make you 5 videos a day. And that's what you need. You need it to keep subscribers and people interesting. And I take a lot of pictures. I have an unnatural obsession with pictures and blogging. I will literally sit there and I will tape a duck for 20 minutes. This is what I do with my day. Today it was just my mother-in-law's dropping. I cleared out my refrigerator because she filled it. I usually give her money, and she doesn't want to take the money, so she cleans her refrigerator out, and I end up with more food than anybody needs to have. I give them away to my residents or whoever I see that's kind of struggling. But this is what I do. And then I go, oh, look at that duck. There's a squirrel. And I get excited over this. And then I just start blogging. But I'm a nature photographer. I like to take pictures of trees and animals. I did tape when I was on my way to work because I I don't have a car. I just, once all this crap is done with the tariffs and all that, I'll think about it after that. I'm not even trying to do that. But a deer approached, and I was like, okay. And it was one of the days I picked up, and it was like a day that the evening. Didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, the buck comes over, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm up shit creek with no paddle. So I started taping, and I decided if I'm going to be late for work, that's fine, because I heard if you go against a buck, it's not good. So finally, he went, because I cut through the metro parks, because I live right next to the metro parks. So I have these trees that I like to take pictures of, because I feel nature shows us pretty much a lot. Nature is coincident with us. We co we coexist with nature, and we should be. And Chong likes to be down there to do his peeing and pooping. So while he's down there walking and peeing and pooping, I'm going, oh, I really like this tree. Now it's losing its leaves, and I'd be taking pictures all the time over there. I like it. So that's why you see so many pictures of nature. I mean, maybe once I get a little bigger and where I'm actually making more money, and actually making money over here, I might go to haunted places. I don't. I do love animals, and I will support animals, and eventually I will get a shelter. But I'm not. I'm not chasing kitties. I would actually have other. I might support and with other channels or something, because I have too much in my own life going on, and I know that sounds terrible, but I would help them. The people that are going around and taking barnacles off of all these animals, which disturbs me really, really bad. I seen one of these other videos over here. I don't know if it's real or not. It was centipedes, and they showed the centipedes just going inside the skin, and it just broke away real. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm in nursing. There has to be some kind of puncture wound or something. I mean, I know I could be crazy at times, but there was no puncture wound, and you just see all these centipedes going in this leopard, and it didn't even look real. So I don't know, but if there's these kind of centipedes, it's because I don't know. It's the end of the world if centipedes are doing that. That means our ass is gonna die too. And the dire wolves, they have brought them back officially, the scientists. And the dire wolves were in Game of Thrones, one of my favorite movies. Watched the whole series, love it. Read all 5 books, and that's why I started writing Lily in the Darkness, because I wanted to know how George Martin wrote the book. So I wrote Lily in the Darkness, because he is one of my favorite authors. I really like him a lot. I tend to like book authors more than anything else. I've been writing since I was 10 years old. I do enjoy writing. I know different forms of English. I wish I knew a foreign language. I tried. I took Spanish when I was in school, and I got like a C minus, something like that. It wasn't. I'm not the best at Spanish. I could somewhat. I somewhat forget some of the words and all that, but I did take Japanese, because they demanded that you kind of have to know another language when I was in private school. Japanese didn't really work out well for me. So then I decided to try German. That really didn't work well out for me either. The German. I was really good with that. When you had, it's just the dialect. It's like it's guttural. I couldn't even pronounce half of the German stuff. I've taken care of a lot of residents that were German, and I can't produce that kind of accent. But, a fun fact, there's actually an Ohio dialect. And people use it, like in the national broadcast schools, they use the Ohio dialect because it's supposed to be the most neutral. So, I have found that out. I found that was very interesting. Like on regular mainstream TV, it's just the Ohio accent because we're just so neutral. They're really, you can't really tell it. I mean, you could tell a southern accent, you could tell someone from New York. They kind of sound a little bit, I don't know, they just have that gangster voice. That's what I think of New Yorkers. They just have that. It's sometimes New Yorkers. They're from a big city. They have a different kind of attitude too. I wouldn't want to mess with a New Yorker. They'll get right up in your face. They really will, and they're proud of their state. They really are. I've never been to New York. I've been to Kentucky. I went to every state getting to Disney World with the kids, with the first husband, but we never went to New York. Maybe one day. I heard it's very expensive to visit there. I heard everything's higher and it's a lot cheaper in Ohio and Pennsylvania. That's what I hear. I know a lot of growers are making money out here. Weeds is starting to become a big thing because some of the industry died out a while back, so now it's just like a weed happy state, which is fine. But the worst thing we have here is serial killers. Some of the most famous serial killers came from Ohio. I believe it was Jeffrey Dahmer was the last one. And then there was the Imperial Street one that went national. That's what, like, most of our crime is something like that. It's crazy, but that's why I just stay in my little. I like to call it my little hole. I stay in my little bubble. I got my little art center here, and then in my bedroom I got my big screen TV and stuff. And when I decide I'm going out for something, usually it's the park to go take pictures of trees. Because in this world, you gotta watch who you talk to. You gotta watch your ass in this world. They're taking people off the street when you watch all these people trying for the human trafficking. I mean, that's terrifying that people could go out and do that. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about this human trafficking, but I guess they'll even take men. They really will. It's crazy, but I don't know. This is why sometimes I just like to stay in my little bubble with arts and crafts. I think I lost people. I don't know if I'm by myself or not. It went to 0, so I'm taking it that I lost people, and that's okay. I'm just gonna try to get this done as much as I can and work on this rug. But but yeah, if you guys are still listening, I'm gonna probably I'm gonna finish out this row and then I'm gonna start sketching. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do a tree. I know when I was at Disney on the Pooh section, there was that tree. I should probably try to sketch out the tree house, Pooh's tree house. That's probably what I need to do, just to kind of finish out the poo set. Then I want to do a bigger one for the room, baby's room too. I feel that would be fun. But knitting is actually, I don't know if you guys, I know you guys, if you're here, with every little stitch you carry it over, and I think it's easier to put it down. With crocheting, it's like a whole big process, and I don't know. To me, I think it's more convenient to knit. I really do. But I'm probably going to start looking at these Winnie the Pooh trees. If I could get like Piglet or somebody in front of it, of the house, that'd probably be good. Here we go. It's coming out nice, these rows. I'm very excited. Oh, I got somebody. How are you doing? I'm here. I still can give you readings. I seriously can. Alright, they're there. They're undecided. On Facebook, they call them trollers. I don't know if you're still there, Pau Carl. You seem to be the official moderator around here. You need your own YouTube channel. I don't know if you have one or not, but you really need one. You'd be good at this. You really would. You'd be awesome. And all you gotta do is just blog what you do. I mean, everybody does something interesting. They tell me I do too much. At work, they tell me the same damn thing. I'm always got something going on, or I'm running up and down the hallway doing something. This is what I do. But I'm going to knit down this row and then start the Winnie the Pooh tree. And I got all these fancy artists that are going and the fancy photographers. So I got to make sure that it looks good and fancy for these guys. Chong, what are you doing? We'll go out as soon as I'm done. I took you out an hour ago, Chong. You should be good. Alright. I'm closing in and I don't... Oh, there's still that person there. How you doing? I'm just finishing this out and then I'm going to sketch the tree of life or the Pooh tree for the baby's nursery. And I got all these other Pooh things. I should probably try to do Winnie the Pooh, a little better one than I had before. And make sure this one's flawless because they got all the famous photographers coming. And you know, they act like I don't know photography. Just because I'm a nature photographer. They really do. They just because they got a fancy studio, they think I have no talent. But I'm used to this in life. I gotta always prove people wrong. That's how life is. Such is life. Because that's what you do in life sometimes. People say one thing, you prove them wrong. I have learned this having autism. There's a lot of negative people that want to see you fail in life. A lot. You hold your head up high and look them in the eye and don't give a damn. That's how you move about life. And if you could do that, it makes you a very strong person. I had to learn this at a young age. I really have. Because some people are mean and kids are mean. So when I was younger, even in Catholic school, kids are mean. They really are. And I'm being dead honest. I think kids are a little bit meaner now than they used to be. Before they would just tease you and say stupid things. Now they bring in guns and everything else in the school. So I don't know. Some got to give. I know Brandon will probably send the baby to a private school. Since he's Catholic, he'll probably go to Catholic school, honestly. Which probably is a better idea altogether. Alright, I'm gonna put my big bowling iron out. And start the Winnie the Pooh stuff. I am so glad I start character boarding for Winnie the Pooh. So glad. Alright, put that big bowling iron there. Alright. Now, I'm gonna go look up some sketches here. At least my computer goes faster. It doesn't live stream, but it goes faster. I guess it's good for our computer. This is what we're keeping it for these days. Or that's what I am. I'll use shop at Goodwill. Alright, let me get this here. Alright. Alright. Alright, now I'm looking up Winnie the Pooh. I'm still here for tarot card readings, folks. My cards are literally right here. I'm going to put them right there whenever there's a reading comes. And I figure by the time I finish this reading, I should have people. This does go a lot faster for $6 a month. I don't like wasting anything. Alright, I don't know. Well, there it goes. It keeps telling me to do Microsoft Windows 11. This computer doesn't have enough gut for that. I would have to redo it, so I'm just buying another one for streaming and leaving this for my art, just so I could see my pictures. Alright. Alright. It's a common. If anybody's out there, let me know. If you guys want to leave a question, leave a question. I'm just over here chilling and vibing, getting ready to do a poo. Since that's my big job. Her big job is to deliver the baby. My big job is to make blankets and stuff. So, this is what I'm doing. I don't even know that it's still running. Alright. Windows update system requirements. Okay, well I already did that. Alright. We're gonna put Winnie the Pooh tree. That is what we're gonna put in. Sometime Winnie, I did grab it. Winnie the Pooh I took the kids to well, let's see where it brings me. Any good sketching of Winnie the Pooh's tree here? I just go around and see where it takes me. Sometimes I like the images, sometimes I don't. I gotta vibe with the images.
I just don't know where to start off at.
Here's a Christmas one. It looks so cute.
My one dude told me, he's like, you try to be on your push for shit. I'm trying to have that.
Alright, well here.
I was thinking about the sanctuary.
Alright. I'm gonna do Winnie the Pooh. Oh god. There's Tigger too. And they're hanging from a tree. Alright, that's gonna be fun.
Right.
Well, why not? It don't look too difficult. It's just like I'm gonna have to do the tree first. I think I'm gonna do that. And it's a light color in this background, so I'm gonna start sketching this out. There we go. Now, it's actually a white background. So what I'm going to do, you want, when you do Disney style sketches, you want, especially if you're going to do the pencil type thing, because you can do the, you could do colored pencil. I have like a ton in my thing. I literally made a box of like 60 markers I have to, but you want it to be grainy. I'm going to be doing like sketches, and I'm going to be doing blanket making probably for the next 4 months. Probably a lot of Winnie the Poohs. But you want it grainy. I like to use things that are cheap, because when you're starting out with sketching and stuff, you want to practice a lot. To get at the level I'm at took a year and 2 people that know a lot about art. So I'm using this white chalk I have. I'm just doing a lot of little circles here. And then I'm going to put it in here, because once you start your pencil sketch, when you go to rub it in and stuff, which is a lot of Disney style things, they use colored pencils and regular pencils. I like to use both, because I feel like it gives you really good shading. And shading is so important when you're doing pastels. It really is. It's one of your most important skills, I want to say. And even if it's just the color of this, you want to get it in there because you want that nice graininess to it. So, and I'm just getting it all in here. Because once you get in that nice grain there, and I mean, they're not too much money. Like I said, that these I think I paid on Amazon like maybe $20-$30 for those. I think I have enough markers. I'm not going to buy markers for a long time. If anything, I might buy more of these chalk pastels. But I've had them for like over 6 months. And then the only thing I've had to do was just get just certain colors in. If you just want white or black, usually you run out of those first. It's not too hard to get replacements like that. I had 3 thumbs up. Oh, there's a third thumbs up. Okay. Alright, I got one person. Okay. If you want a reading, I'm still doing readings. I know it's confusing when I'm over here. It's just I have a lot of things I have to finish and I have to do. So while I like the old saying, I kill 2 birds in a stone, but I have my tarot cards if you want a tarot card reading. So I'm just letting you know. It's there, the offer. And I'm doing the Winnie Pooh tree, but you know what? This is just gonna take so long on this stream to try to get that done. So I might just do Winnie the Pooh with these damn balloons for my grandson or granddaughter, which is gonna take a lot, and it's bringing me to Etsy. But yeah, take this chalk and put it on here, and you get a professional finish with everything. I have. Let me get the graveyard here of all the little sketches I've had. Alright, hang on. Alright. I did rabbit like this. That's part of my grandson or granddaughter's collection was going to be rabbit. I did this poo, but I'm not crazy about it. It's okay. I'm just not crazy about it. Tigger, and I did the same method, just the poster board. It looks like Disney. And I got Tigger here. And I've been to Disney World several times, and I've been in the Disney store, and this is how they do their character boarding, and they charge a lot for these. I was going to buy these when I was at Disney last, but it was like, he wanted like $200. And I just did this with my pastels. And just literally like that. This, I'm trying to draw a raven for my book cover. I got the raven, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about that either. I think that's trash. This is the butterfly nebula. Every time I do paints, I sometimes don't like it. And I did have a famous painter teach me. But I did way better with the Reaper. I even got his little fingers good this time. See? That was rough. So that took, just his little fingers took a long time. But if you take the graininess, and you can't see it, but I did the same method as that, especially if whatever you're trying to execute is there. And it's supposed to be white. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do now. Alright. I'm going to draw this. And that's how they get it. They get like this grainy little stuff like this. That's what they do. And I've been at this Disney store and what, like I said, and I'm just kind of, now I'm to the point where, why not make it yourself? So, I'm going to start with his legs. Because once you do this, you can actually, I'm going to take colored pencils and smooth it in with that too. And it's not really, it seems horribly hard, but it's not. It just takes a lot of practice. I would practice with paper and stuff, and then just go on Amazon and get the regular pastel, the chalk pastels, and then start practicing like this once you're able to doodle a little. And you use the pastel, whatever you use for your background, when you have to erase. And it's almost like whiteout. That's why I like it. I'm doing the layout now of his bottom half. I like to go from the bottom up. Because when you go up, you got a lot of detail in your work. It's a lot. And everything has to be very specific. So, and specific details are important. Especially when you're dealing with any kind of anime, which, laugh out loud, I'm trying to do my book cover. And I can't even get to the damn Raven because I am way better at anime so far than I am with the thing I actually want to do. And I'm just going to do light shading around here. Because I want to get kind of his feet in here, holding the balloon. And it's not going to, if it don't look exactly like the picture when you do and execute it a bunch of times, that's fine. Because, people go to the bar and sometimes, like they drink and have a little bit of like a painting party sometimes. So that happens. I mean, they have events like that and they have wine and stuff. So, but I prefer the sketching. See, I'm just getting his leg down here. This is what I generally do more because it piques my interest. But I got his leg so far. And we kind of just keep going, and I find, and it's just me. I mean, you would just do what you want to do because it's a free world here. But I find it a whole lot easier trying to concentrate on the bottom half because he's sitting down. So there's going to be dimensions. And you got to add these dimensions as you go along. And face can be very hard. It really can. The faces are hard. Anime faces, I feel, are a little bit easier. And you can still erase in this because I'm going to repastel some of these any damn way. So, alright. And then you got to do exactly the lines that you see. Like on the tip of his foot here starts the other one. And then it comes in this way. And then you got to just, you start bottom up, like I said, you could portion out your everything a lot better. Alright. This was just too big here. Alright. I've got a lot of little erasing to do now. But this is how they do it. This is absolutely how these do it, and I'm telling you because this is how Sharon did it, and she was a famous artist, so she did it this way. I'm sure a lot of them do. I'm going to repastel this right here because I made a mistake. It happens. Find your mistakes for early. And then you just rub it again. Start over. Simple as that. That's your whiteout. Alright. I had this like so not right here. This is foot. It comes out just a little bit. And it's towards this way. We gotta get I have to get the dimensions on this good or it's just gonna be trash. And this is the God's honest truth. It will honestly just be trash if you don't do it this way. and it's going to look off. You don't want it to look off because everyone's a critic. And they're going to tell you that your painting looks off. This is what people do. Alright, see, I fixed his foot there. And you know what? If you don't have money, these are presents. That's the beauty of this stuff. This is absolutely going to be a present. This is the baby shower present because I paid my bills early. I am not dealing with not having my bills paid. I'm not. I refuse to. So I will give quality work. And that's it. This is what they get out of me. And I'm shading the inside of this here. The little paw prints here. I like to call them the paw prints. Alright, now I'm going to do this here. And it's not horrible to look at where the line work is on these things. It's not like I'm not out to try to have a career in cartoon characters. I'm just doing this because you go to Disney store and these are hell of expensive. Alright, got his feet done. And there you go. Just a little bits at a time. That's all you gotta do. Alright, now I'm gonna start where his leg comes in here. And you just look at your picture and move it over like that. Whatever you see where your lines are supposed to be hitting. And just be real careful on how you do things. Because I gotta start making his little coat thing soon. Alright. Now right here is where his little shirt starts. So we're gonna start making that. Out here. Down here. Over there. Alright. Now, just bring it up. We're going straight up here. And whatever little details, like it's a coat, so there's going to be times where it's crinkled, so you kind of look up, see the details in the sketch where the coat is crinkled or whatever is going on. Alright. And I'm going to get the coat done first, or his collar, so I could start getting his face done. Okay, and this is where his collar is, and out. You gotta be very careful, just like when I did the Reaper, and I had to make sure his those tiny little fingers look good. That's the way it is. These tiny details mean everything. They will make or break your sketch. They will. And then you're just not going to like it because you're just going to sit there and be like, man, I could have done a little better. I mean, this is what I do. All right, you're going, and then you follow down, like here, and the first crinkle here. All right, I'm just going to sketch real light there. Because this is where his sleeve is. So I'm going to lightly sketch the sleeve. And it just comes around and you curve. Because he's sitting down. It's just simple as that. He's sitting down. Alright, now comes around here. here. And the same way here. Right, and then you measure kind of where the feet is here. His feet is here, and that's good length for that, because that's where the balloon starts. Kind of measure like if you're, because this is a small picture that I'm actually making to a big picture, so I'm measuring things out. So I got that so far. And this is pretty much a big thing of character boarding. Alright. And now this comes over and over. And that way and out. Alright, and right in here starts all these little strings. And there's a bunch of little strings, so we're just going to get that together. Alright. Alright, some of these go that way, some are going that way. Some are coming around this way. Some down that way. Alright. There we go. Now, the head's up here too. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, so I got 1. 2. And then we get in our string so you know where to put the balloon. Right. 2, 3. I'm just going to bring one this way so you can kind of see the string here a little. Alright, now we got our string. And kind of just, this is how you do it. Little bits at a time. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get these balloons done. And balloons are pretty easy. They are. You just do the round here. I'm just making little, they're just all nice and round, so. And you got 1 balloon and 1 behind that, so those, I mean, it's a nice basic sketch. Put this balloon this way. I gotta redo my strings over here, that's fine. I just want to get my balloons and let me get my balloons here where they need to be. It's not very round. Alright. Just want to shape this a little. Start shading around this. I shade around everything, and I'm going to use with this sketch some colored pencil too. Just real basic material you need with this. Besides the pastel, I mean, that's all you really need. And like I said, it's not even. You could have a pastel set for years just doing that. And you use it for other stuff. I use it for a lot of my sketch drawings still. You can still use it. It's just I like the soft pastels sometimes when I'm doing strictly doing that. But with these Disney, it's easier to use pencil and some of this because I'm doing a different method here. I'm trying to be fancy since this is a baby shower gift. Alright. I don't know. I think this needs to come up here. Okay, there you go. It wasn't perfectly round. Alright, now this one wraps in the back that way. And that one comes around this way. Alright. There's 4 balloons. And I gotta totally fix that issue here. I got all the string here. And way too much heavy shading right here. But it's better to fix this stuff early. It really is. Early is better than anything. Alright, and that's all I did, and now we got 4 nice balloons. Alright, now alright, I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna come up a little this way. Curve this a little. Alright, now alright, here we go. I'm trying to get the coat and the front done here nice. So some of these details I want nice like this. Alright, now I'm going to do his head. And I'm not even, pretty much almost done. This is not a hard sketch. Once you like take it apart little bits at a time. Who is not hard? It really isn't. The Reaper, hell to the yes, is that hard. It really is. Those little bones and everything else. You just have to have a happy Reaper day for that. To deal with that kind of sketch. That could be very monstrous of a sketch. I mean, I've done them before, but I painted them, but I don't know. I'm thinking about repainting the Reaper. Eventually. Because I don't know. Alright. Right. Come across. Straight, but a little bit on a curve is for them. Do a little bit of a curve. And then I gotta shade little different parts of the ear because we're trying to show contrast. You gotta show contrast in your shading. And like I said, a tattoo artist would have fun with this art. And like I said, they probably already know about it. I mean, they could, on a piece of paper, before they give you those tattoos, they already know kind of how they're going to execute it all. And people are very specific when they go to these artists. And if they mess up, OMG, people be getting angry, and I guess I get it. It's your tattoo. Alright, I'm gonna start sculpting his nose now. So the nose can get very aggravating. Right. And then from the nose, you come down and do every little line here because I gotta get his little. I'm fading out where his mouth is. Alright. I'm gonna do this collar. I'm gonna extend out the collar actually and do a whole new one up this way. There. Just kind of erase this other one, blend it in here. I'm just going to do that and erase that because I got to bring that shirt up anyway. There you go. See, I just brought that line up. It's kind of what you want to do, just finagle with your lines a little bit. Don't be afraid to do it because you're gonna, even great artists, because I asked my friend Sharon, laugh out loud, this teaching me to be a good artist, how she did it, and this is how she fixed her mistakes. So, and if she was fixing her mistakes like this is probably the way to do it, friends. Because she was able to make portraits. So people would give them their picture, her the pictures, and she'd make literally a pastel of their picture. This is what she did. And that's pretty damn good, really. And you're not going to get exactly the picture. I mean, until you get to that kind of level, and I don't know. There would be a lot to get to that kind of level. Alright, there's a little tiny bit of shading, so we're going to go up a little on the bridge of this nose. Just a tiny bit. And then right in here, there's the eyebrow. I mean, I'm not perfect at this. I just literally show my stuff to my resident friend, and then she did. And then she's very. I mean, she's an artist. She's a good artist, so she lets me know. She does not. She don't lie about it, so I appreciate truth. Alright, he has little small eyes. That's what this goes. And you kind of want to do light shading here with these lines. And I know it looks kind of weird when you do the one eye like that, but you'll see when you do the other eye where it kind of gets a little better. Because he's sideways. He's looking at his balloons. He's feeling. He's vibing. Winnie the Pooh's like, what's up? Alright. Okay, we're going down the bridge of the nose. And right where this dimple is where the other eye. Pay attention to the details, like right in the dimple is where the other eye goes. Or it's not going to look right. And then place your eye where you need to place it. And that's how you get really good dimensions. And then just come across here. And then we're going to get a cheek going here. And to get the dimensions there, very light shading. Very light. You want to show. I'm just going to shade a little bit over this way, like that. Shade a little bit that way. Alright. And then back here, just show shadows. Or shading a little bit back here. And I'm still going to rub it in. I mean, I know it looks very basic, but I mean, this is how it looks when you're starting to make it here. And they do make really good presents. And then in here, where this other ear is, right here, you're coming out a little bit this way. And coming down and under. Kind of like that. Down and under. There you go. And then you're shading that end. And it shows that his ears moved a little. I mean, it's very basic principles. You just can't get too ahead or think too bad of yourself if it doesn't turn out the way you would like it, you know. But you'll get close to it. Alright, now I think we're good. Oh, his eye. I gotta go do this here. Right by his eye is where we need to go here. Alright, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna rub this here. Bring that down there. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna bring out some of these colored pastels. I think they got too dark right there. Alright, I'm just taking one little curvy line and going under. Kind of like a Amazon one, but we're going under. Alright. I think we're good for the colored pencils now. Alright. We're good there. We got that. And now I'm going to finish it out. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to get to that point. I mean, it looks close enough to the picture, and you can switch it up any which way you want to. Any which way. But let's see. Alright, he's yellow. I'm probably just gonna get my pastels out, honestly. I have lots of them. Oh, there's two people here. I'm still doing tarot card readings if you want tarot card readings. Just letting you guys know. I just like to do other stuff while I'm doing other things also. I'm going to take these. I got soft pastels. I just got basic ones. You could go get expensive soft pastels or get the value ones. When you're actually doing your sketch, like the chalk ones I like to put in the background and stuff like that, but I really like working with these. I mean, my stuff just turned out really sloppy before with it, and I kind of didn't like it. And I think you get a better range of colors. I got 66 of these for like $25 on Amazon. Just get that Prime app. It makes your life so much better. And they're real. They are kind of like, they are very soft. So now that's too bright. kind of want it. They have different color yellows. Like this is the yellow that I want for Mr. Winnie the Pooh. And then I'm going to take this around here. And the beauty of pastels is you can switch it up and it always makes everything look nice. And as Miss Sharon tells me, you don't need paint if you have pastels. That's what I was told by the famous artist. She says if you could do pastels, that is your paint. So I guess keep in mind that, and I'm still gonna shade with my pencil too. I'm just doing the soft pastels with this. Because I feel Winnie the Pooh sometimes needs a little color. And it's your portrayings of things. You don't have to do exactly how the other sketch artist does it. You know, to get your lines and everything right, it's one thing, but then once you start coloring in and making your own, make it your own. Don't sit there and if you want like this t-shirt, I'm changing the color of the t-shirt. I made your drawing. You're in control. You don't have to reproduce. You need to know kind of a baseline, but other than that, it's your drawing. So you got to take charge of your drawing. And make it the way you'd like to make it. Might as well. I'm going to do the end here, and I'm going to see how this will look with shading of colored pencil also. I bet it would look awesome. I really do. There's a lot of sketch artists that sometimes don't really like using the paint. And they just do one thing. Sometimes I feel if you do a couple different things, it gives you more. I don't know. I think it just makes it all around better for you. But that's just me. I'm going to put that there. And then I have, I think it's soft black, but when you go this way, see, getting that out. Now I'm going to do, I got a black one. I got this was longer, but they are so easy to break in half. They really are. I break the regular chalk things too a lot. I mean, I still save it if I can use it, but it's so easy to break these. And just break them right up in half, and then you're like, well, damn, I didn't mean to do that. But it happens. And it's a lot cheaper to get a pastel set and have that last you forever. And I'm going to just lightly sketch that with that. I'm just taking these very light just feather-like touches. Feather-like, that's it. You cannot get crazy with this. And I'm just pushing it that way. I'm just smudging it out. And then real light feather-like for his cheek where that starts. There we go. And then I got this done. So this is kind of how you start these kind of things. And then right where his paw pads are, we're just going to do feather-like ones. We want it to flow nice. You really don't want this bad flow to your work. Because what I'm going to do is I'm still going to take the others and blend it in with the pencil in the middle. And to me, they have the blue shirt. I'm going to use red. that's red. Should be. Okay, that's good enough. It's red. I know he's always had a red shirt when I watch Winnie the Pooh. I don't know about you guys. I kind of like him with this traditional red shirt. So we're just going to do that around the edges right here. I'm going to do that right here. I like using color. Some people like when they ask me to do stuff, they like the black and white stuff. I enjoy color. I feel that everything's nice with happy pastel color. Some people like the traditional black and white ones. They're okay, but I tend to just go towards color. I'll make it, I'll work with it, but I want to say it's not my favorite. Alright. And then I'm just going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do light. I'm going to do real light sketches where the arm of this coat is to show that. And there we go. And I'm really not even done. Because I got to get the string of these balloons is going to be black too. So get this in here. And I'm just coloring the string now. I don't know why this artist had like 6 strings, but I'm just doing 4. Because, folks, I believe it makes more sense. If you're going to have 4 balloons, you got 4 strings. Unless a whole bunch popped. So, and you can do pastel. I got the set that had pastels. So, I'm going to do the green pastel for one balloon. Have a kind of fun type thing, you know. What's this one? I've never used that one before. Then I have a blue one. And just follow it up. Oh, jeez. Alright, I made that a little fat, so I'm going to make this side a little bigger. You're doing this and you go and you overstep one balloon gets bigger. It's not the end of the world. I make these mistakes on a regular, and I think every sketch artist does. And you do your third balloon like this. You're just doing the outline. And then I'm going to get the colored pencil and sketch that in and start rubbing in the pastels. I find pastel work with this is so much nicer. I do. I vibe with it a lot. Alright, what the hell color am I going to make this one? I'm trying not to make a pink or blue because I don't know what the baby's going to be. So we'll go with the orange. There we go. This Mr. Balloon is going to be orange. Alright, now we're going to get colored pencils and we're going to start other shading. It's all about shading these kind of things. It really is. But we got this so far. And I just went on the edges. You're not trying to You can color it all in, but I feel it takes away some of the pretty details. But I mean, it would be yours when if you wanted to attempt to do something like this. So, all right, here we go, orange. All right, we're gonna start here. I'm just gonna right where the pastel is, just start sketching this in. I'm just gonna use this so I feel like it's a lot nicer. And plus, I use up these colored pencils that I never felt I was gonna use. Alright, got that. Alright, is this purple? Yeah, this is purple. Alright, I'm gonna just color this one in purple. I don't know, I think the pencil looks nice with the pastel, honestly. It's a very nice match. Alright, now we're going to get green for this one. Just color in these balloons. Alright, and then here's the blue. Alright, got that, and now I'm going to get my red. Chong, I'm going to take you out, okay? Alright, and I'm coloring all this in kind of sideways because he's looking sideways. So, I'm shading, when I shade in with the pencil, the sideways is still all there. And that's kind of where you want to be. It really is. There we go. Alright, now got my yellow one. Still sideways because even though it doesn't look like people are looking or notice, they will. They always do. And it just makes it look nicer when you do that. You're gauging your audience for that. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, now Alright, now we're just I'm just smoothing it out to the side with my finger. Smoothing it all out with my finger, actually. Even his little feet. We want a nice smooth finish. And then with his feet pads, you just rub up. And we're doing the same here. There we go. Alright, now I'm actually going to find this other pastel to put more yellow in his face. That is a little tricky. See, this one is getting used up, but right up in his face here. All that here. I just want to, I feel there's not enough yellow on this side. And for blending, this chalk pastel is amazing. Even though I fell in love with the soft pastel, this has a lot of use. Your chalk ones. Even though they're cheaper, I don't care. They have a lot of use still. And I'm just going in circles because I was told by the famous artist that I take care of that the circle method is the best. And if you rub in circles, it comes out portrait-like. This is what I've heard. And I'm just kind of combining all these together, honestly. Alright, do the same thing right here. There you go. Right now, okay, this should be my red. I think so. Let me test it out in here. Yeah, that was the red. Alright, I'm going in circles in here now. Alright. And you're smoothing it out in circles because we want this to look like a portrait. Nice and luminous. The best you can here. I mean, this is how the big wigs do it. And some people prefer just to use this kind of chalk. So I guess it depends what kind of artist you want to be. I get it all. There's an occasion for everything for me. There's a painting occasion. I do lots of stuff. I have literally I have so much art supply, it's ridiculous over here. I look like I have a store. And this is no lie, laugh out loud because of Amazon being my best friend. Alright, got that. See? It's faded out more like a portrait. And this is all you do, just blend. And I blended to the side, did some side blending. And I'm using these, the regular other kind, the chalk ones. So, oh, dark and locked up. Oh my god. These are the things that make me want to try to become a better YouTuber so I can help these dogs that are being starved and everything else. I just don't understand people. I don't. I don't understand why somebody would want to starve a dog. What goes through your head? I'm gonna go lock up and starve my dog. I mean, come on now. I just don't get it. People won't do that with children, but all day long they'll do it with dogs. I don't understand. People just got some crazy thinking these days. I wish I could understand, but I really don't. I don't understand how you could starve a person or a dog. I don't. And I'm just literally I'm going around in circles to do this. Even though I'm doing this sideways, I'm putting it in a circle. And I'm coloring this in with the chalk one sideways. And then we're going to circular motion for the rest. Alright, going circular now. There we go. It's very pretty. Okay. I'm just taking all the residual chalk. I'm just putting it around. That's it. I'm doing this pretty fading out here. Alright, just coming down because this is what the sketch calls for, all this fading out. Now we got that. It has to be portrait-like, folks. This is how the portrait-like stuff gets around. We're just doing that. You got the pencil in there. That's the beauty of it. You got the pencil and it's coming down that way. And now, oh god, my ear itches. I'm going to go ahead and add a little more ambience to this. And what am I going to put? I'm going to put orange hues in here. Just a little bit here. And what I mean by hues, just accents. Because you could take these and you can mix it with different ones. That's why you don't need paint, because you can mix all of these. And I don't need to reshade around those either. I'm good there. So I'm going to take my orange and take orange and I forgot what orange and green make. But we're going to do orange and green. And you can take that, mix your little colors together before you start finger shading here. Alright. I'm just going up, just twirling it around, swirling. There we go. Alright. Oh, here it's just Alright, now we are going to do that. There we go. We got orange and green. Mix your colors together. I mean, this is what I did when I was painting. This is my colors together. I mean, I haven't painted for a while, but I'll probably get back into painting soon. I do like painting. Alright, there we go. We'll open this around. There we go. This actually was a good color combination, honestly. This is not bad. You can tell the little green and the yellows and stuff in here. Gives it a nice little glow. Nice little happy glow. Alright, and the edges, try to get the edges nice and then start your circular. Just want to take a little on the inside. Just take a little on your finger here, a little here. Alright, I'm just fading this picture in. So that's not bad. And this is with pastels, friends. I know nobody's here, but I'll take a picture and put it on the community board, which seems to be the popular place to be around here, so I'm going to take a picture and post it there. And probably work on more poo. Oh! My painting's done, friend. But I've been on here almost 2 hours, and I will be on tomorrow. And I'll probably be doing more Winnie the Poohs and stuff, and in between, maybe just doing a little knitting here and there until I get people. So if you need a reading or something, I could wait if you want to put in a question before I get rolling. It's up to you, because I can get back to my knitting a little bit, waiting for your question if that's what you want, because I understand that YouTube kind of delays a lot of stuff. They do. They delay questions and all kinds of stuff. I just like to keep busy with lots of arts and crafts. And in my community board, I have many little stuff. This I made today. I made my Grim Reaper. And I don't know if you could see, but looking by his little fingers, I did that. It was hard. This one, I like this one the best out of every single thing I've done. That has to be the best. This is supposed to be the butterfly nebula. I don't know. Every time I try to, when I sketch it out, they look good, but I don't know. People say paint is different. Everybody says it's good, but I don't know. I do like to try to do space. I was trying to do a raven. I got this. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it is what it is. There. I did Eeyore. This is just with the chalk pastel and my pencil, just good old pencil. Did the same thing with this one. I'm not that crazy about this Winnie the Pooh. I think his head could have been better, but it was supposed to be a sideways, but it's not terrible. Sculpting these heads sometimes can be really terrible. I think Tigger turned out the best, honestly. This Winnie the Pooh, it's not terrible, but I think his head could have been better. But honestly, Rabbit turned out pretty good. This one out of all of them, that and Tigger, I think turned out the best. But things like this happen when you're sketching. It is what it is. You get, and I got discouraged a lot in this year, and all these different residents that are famous artists are teaching me things. Anyways, putting all that back. In this year that I've been on my journey of learning something new, I've had to learn that sometimes you just got to be patient and you got to let things happen with art. So I do. I've just been letting it go. I've just been going with that flow, friends. Alright, that sharpener seems to work well with me. Alright, my tarot cards are this way. But I have a baby blanket to knit also. So if you want, I can wait for you guys to post a question. If not, we could talk. I mean, it's totally up to you. I have lots of projects that I do all the time. I'm probably going to start. I'm starting yarn embroidery. I do that. I embroider yarn. I love yarn. Yarn is yarn is my favorite material, hands down. I get excited with yarn. And then I got all these donations of yarn on top of that. And all my little donations of yarn, I have an entire giant garbage bag full of them. But the baby blanket, I have yarn needles. So I'm going to make these long. And I'm going to make a quilted baby blanket with yarn. And I told my son when I make this for the Mayan baby that it's hand washable. And I told him, do not put it in the washing machine. And I'm going to try to get patches and then I'm going to I was actually thinking about trying to crochet around the edges. Because another resident came into my life that does professional crocheting. Laugh out loud. Jesus, I guess, sends me, he can't afford art school or nothing. He sends you residents that are sick and bound to the bed that you're taking care of talking about art. Art school comes to you sometimes. So this is, you have, when something like that comes in your life, you got to take it. Take the advice. Because you got to pay for this advice, folks. I'm not trying to pay for all that kind of advice. People pay lots of money to go to art school. That's all I know. I have to pay my bills. I can't. I can't do it. I can't sit there and be in class all day. And I'm too old to go back to school. I'm not. I already been to school before. I'm kind of just done with it. I don't mind learning from people. I don't mind, people telling me, they're famous artists or over how they got how they're doing their sketches. I don't mind that. I'm just not worried about paying the tuition and this and that trying to get there. I'm not. I mean, why not? We got YouTube. YouTube's wonderful. You want to learn something? It's there. And around COVID, I got bored and I was worried about. I know it sounds silly, but there's at least 50 black holes around us. I think even more surrounding us. And I thought that the black holes was going to affect and make the underwater volcanoes start messing up. I thought, the black holes was going to do that. And then I was on Facebook streaming, and a volcanologist, someone that works with volcanoes, answered my question. He said, no. He said black holes would do. It would not affect that. It just the black holes would affect our weather. He said our weather would start getting erratic. And thinking in hindsight, with all the things going on in the world and our weird weather, there's a lot. In the Milky Way, there's a lots of black holes. And I mean lots. So, and they're scary, these things. They have so much energy. They say that they can do multi dimensions. They can create another time stuff. They're saying this, and they never said this before. Scientists ever. Now all of a sudden, this is what they say. So I don't know. And we had snow, and it's supposed to be spring here. And we've had erratic weather, and there's barnacles, and there's weird stuff. Weird stuff. Weird animals coming about. And now they're making, they pretty much cloned a dire wolf. And they said that it was close, but it was from a gray wolf's DNA. And it's a real thing, folks. Real thing. It was on the national news, and they're cute as hell. These cubs, cute as hell. These dire wolves. But the thing is it was scientifically made. And how do we know the sequence of the DNA? How it's going to actually work out for our ecosystem? I don't know. I honestly, it could be a hit or miss. Yeah, they might look like a dire wolf and everything else, but they might hold other properties because they were genetically made in a lab. So, I don't know. Their consciousness could be different, and they're going to be different from the other animals, and they plan to let them loose. They plan to let these dire wolves loose. And my thing is, what about the other wolves? Dire wolves are way bigger than regular wolves. Way bigger. We're talking usually, even the wolf coyotes around us, they're about 250 pounds, something like that. So a dire wolf is, God, at least 300, 350 pounds. And it's not of a natural order. Maybe we're starting the beginning of our own demise. Maybe that's how it's eventually going to end. I don't know. Hopefully nothing comes about of it, but I don't know if it's a good idea. And they're literally more, that they said they don't care, and they want to make a woolly mammoth too. They want to do some Jurassic Park crap. And that whole movie ended up in tragedy because on all those people ended up dying because these dinosaurs got out of their cages, and they weren't natural born dinosaurs. They were born in a lab, so they were able to do a lot of stuff. How do we know we're not doing the same thing? That's what I don't understand. But this genetic lab is going ahead and cloning and getting and trying to make all these different animals. It might really, really hurt the environment eventually one day, sooner than later. I'm just saying, and nature is sometimes a delicate balance. It really is. So, I don't know. What do you think? I just this literally just kind of this the subject itself. It's like I know they cloned a lamb. You know they made Dolly and they made a lamb when I was younger, and the government got upset, and there was a lot of groups that said we didn't need to go playing God, and they were banned. And then they said they weren't going to use the research for Dolly on humans, but I'm pretty sure they did. We know how governments are. And now they're just openly just cloning animals like they're nothing. And it's not a good thing. I don't feel it's going to have any good consequences because I do believe there were some humans they cloned. I do. You leave that technology to people that are very intelligent that have access to do it, and then say don't do it, they're going to do it behind your back. That's just all there is to it. But that's just me, and I don't know. I mean, I hope nothing bad comes from it, but they don't need to be making woolly mammoths. I mean, that is not a good idea. I think they might. The dire wolves, since they're already here, they're probably not going to say much. But hell, maybe this is the lab that's making cloning humans. I don't know. And then they have the one YouTuber my husband follows that went through Area 151 and he didn't get permission and he almost got kicked. He got kicked off the property, but he did find a couple of people that worked there. And they said that that aliens were absolutely true. So, and I do believe in other life forms. I do. That's why I say our ecosystem is at a crucial balance. Because once we're gone, we leave the earth to our children and we leave all the mistakes to our children and mankind, which is garbage, is a big issue. Not only garbage we create, we're creating garbage in space because I guess the space shuttle, Hubble, I guess there was a piece of paint or something because they keep blowing up spaceships in space. And I guess when it orbited around, the it almost broke a window. So not only are we making our planet full of garbage where it's uninhabitable for some aquatic life and things, now we're putting garbage in space that's orbiting around. And they said, and this was from a documentary over here, and they said that these some of the garbage they leave, and it's other countries they're just blowing these different satellites up, and the thing is this garbage is rotating around and could take one of the satellites they have in space, and that's what we use for our internet and everything, and for just a lot of stuff for our computers, and all it takes is one of that stuff that we put out in space to hit it, and it's done. We don't have computers. So not only can't we clean up after ourselves on our own planet, now we're doing it to space. So, I don't know. I mean, issues like this, people just glaze over and no one cares about. They just care about other stuff. But I think this is important because when we have no power and we're going through a lot of stuff and our satellites are down, we're going to be SOL. That's just the climate of the world. And it might get to the point where we are going to be primitive again. And the thing is, it's going to be sad. We got this far in evolution, and it would be crazy if we created a whole ecosystem and a new primary predator and we became food for the predator. I mean, we're making dire wolves and all this, and if they outsmart us, we're going to be their food. That's all it's going to take. The reason we're the top of the food chain is because we're the smartest. We alter these different DNAs and we're creating other beings, and in their genetic makeup, if they're a little bit smarter than us, they're gonna find a way to get rid of us, and it might just take one of our own garbage taken out of a satellite and getting attacked by these things, and there's gonna be no more of us, or very little of us. So I mean, it's not going to take much. And I know that most people don't think of this far ahead about things, but there's things that are more important than our daily routines out there. And honestly, space is one of them. Space is not is our we got things up there. And I don't know about you guys, but I rely on my stuff. I rely on internet and stuff, and our bills are paid like this, and there's cars and stuff. How we gonna run our cars? Who's gonna? Maybe the cars will still run, but how you gonna get them fixed? They can't put them on the diagnostic machine. I mean, it's something to think about. It really is something to think about, and I think about these things. I'm hoping it doesn't happen like this, but it could. It absolutely could happen like this if we let it. But I do think about these things all the time. In space garbage, that it'd be crazy if we're worried about meteors, and instead of a meteor making taking us out, it's our own garbage, because there's gravity out there, and gravity works in strange ways here. We got these black holes with all this crazy energy, and our garbage is going around these black holes and things, and people don't realize it. And from what I heard and studied about these black holes, they suck everything else in, and when they ate too much, they throw it up. Sometimes they throw up a multi-universe, and they throw out all the garbage around it that they sucked up. So if they sucked up like satellites or ships and all that, they're spitting those right up out. And that could hit the planet almost like a meteor alone. And it would be our own damn fault that this happened. So I do like to think about this because our existence is not guaranteed. Not at all. They said that when I was reading in documentaries and all that, there was some kind of element from space when one of those meteorites came down and it kind of went in us. It made our brain come out with a certain chemical. And that's how this happened. And that's how we became smart. So, I don't know. I guess it's what you think and what's going on. But hopefully none of this happens. But sometimes I think too deep. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. It is what it is. But I hope things are well in the universe and our garbage doesn't kill us. Because our garbage might end up killing us one day. And it would be irony that that's the thing that took us out. So I'm going to do one more row of this and then I'm probably going to end this. And I will be back on tomorrow. Probably working on this blanket and doing another sketch art. Because this is kind of what I do every day. So, and that'll be after I go to the store because I gotta buy more posters. Because laugh out loud, I'm finally running low and little posters. So it'll probably be my day. And then I'll give my brother his little gas money and stuff for taking me to work. I find it cheaper just to give him gas money. I really do. But and then I'll be coming on and doing some arts and crafts and working on this blanket. It's gonna take me a minute. It's gonna take me months to get this where I need it, but I'm gonna have to start working on this every day with the other art. So, but at least I'm busy. That's the main thing. It's always good to stay busy. Busy is a good thing. It really is. I'm almost done with this row, and I think everybody's kind of done with the stream. So I'm gonna finish these couple stitches off and then put away my stuff. I mean, I did good today. I made a better poo than I have in the past with the little balloons. It'll be good for the baby's room. Then working on the baby blanket. And I'll put all this away. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And I will be snapping you guys. I love Snapchat. I really do. I like Snapchat as much as I like TikTok. I really do. TikTok is. They're a fun group of people. I've never seen anybody so fun. I like them. They just say anything over there. They be cussing and everything. My favorite is Don Pratt. I have a favorite over there. Alright, got this so far. Now I'm gonna put this away because I'll be working on this for a while. Gotta get a whole damn blanket executed. I told my son that's gonna take a couple months, so. Alright, I'm gonna end this and thank. I know no one's here, but I want to thank everybody if they listen or whatever later on for everything, and for Pau Carl because he's like the best moderator ever. He lets me know when I miss some tarot card readings and stuff. So, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And have a great day.